Are you ready for the absolutely massive pump that's going to hit the market for 2024 to 2025? Because the price of Bitcoin is going to absolutely melt faces when it hits. It's going to be massive. In this video, I'm going to be covering why I'm so bullish, even more so than the past couple bull runs on Bitcoin from the summer of 2024 to the summer of 2025, and why I think it's the greatest opportunity we're going to see to make life-changing gains thus far. So the first thing you need to understand about Bitcoin and why this pump, this bull market is going to be such a life changer is basic economics. It's supply and demand. So essentially what happens with the halving, which happens this year in April, is that the amount of new Bitcoins created will be cut in half. So every time a miner mines a new block, the amount of Bitcoin that are created is essentially half of what it was before that event. The reason why this is such an important thing is that there is a finite supply of Bitcoin that will ever be created. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. And so as we know with supply and demand, if the supply goes down and the demand stays the same, then prices will go up. But what actually happens with Bitcoin is that the supply is going to go down and the demand is going to go up. It's just like anything. When there's scarcity, more people want in. When you tell people there's not enough of something, everyone wants to get it just because. It's like a giant game of musical chairs, and no one really cares about the chairs until there's only one left, and then there's a massive rush to see who can get that last chair. It's the same thing that's going to happen with Bitcoin. So as we continue to see less and less Bitcoin created, and there's less and less new Bitcoin available, more and more people are going to want in. People are going to want to get it just because it's hard to get, just because it's scarce. So the more people want in and the less Bitcoin there is, it's going to just send the price through the roof. We're going to see these absolutely massive runs. You may be thinking, well, who cares if the miners get less Bitcoin? How does that actually affect anything? And what you need to understand about Bitcoin is most of the people that hold it are long-term holders. They're in this thing for the long run. They understand the game. Essentially what it means is there are no Bitcoin available. So where do the new Bitcoins come from? They come from the miners. So without the miners, there's essentially not going to be any Bitcoin available. The less and less they have to sell and dump on the markets for new people to buy into, the less of the actual supply there will be. And again, guys, this just means the price is going to go up even that much more. So that's essentially what the halving is. And we have a nice chart you can see behind me. It's called the stock to flow chart. And what this is it's based on the past performance, trying to predict the future. As we know that the past is not an indicator of the future. However, it's the best way we can kind of guesstimate what's going to happen based on what has happened in the past. So let's go ahead and dig into this chart. If you're serious about making money with investing in cryptocurrency, you need to take the time to educate yourself into blockchain technology, which underpins Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies. This is exactly why I've created a course, an Introduction to Cryptocurrency Masterclass, for new and experienced traders alike to shortcut the amount of time it takes to understand the technology and become proficient with blockchain, Bitcoin, many other cryptocurrencies, so you can start making those sick gains. You can find a link with a special discount below. So coming back, we can see all the way back here in essentially 2012, we had this Bitcoin halving right here, and the price went all the way up from about $10 here. We can see it's right about the $10 line, up to the top here to around $1,000 per Bitcoin. The next halving was right here, and that was in 2016. And so we saw the price there go from right about $600, $640, $697. It's looking like somewhere in that region, all the way up here to it actually peaked out around 17. I think it was like 19,000 was the peak back then. But here we can see it's showing a high of, just under $18,000 here. So again, massive gains. And then the last Bitcoin halving we had, the price was somewhere in here around $8,000 or $9,000. And as we know, it maxed out right about $69,000, just under $70,000 here. And so that's what actually happened in the past. This is the stock to flow model, is the line. And so if we look at the line right now, our estimate price on Bitcoin is 113,000. Obviously, we're below that. We didn't get to our goal here of about 100,000 based on the model. So we are running a little under the model. However, for after the next halving, where we see our line at is over $1 million. So let's say we only get to 50%. And during the last one here, we got 70%, right? We hit just about 70,000, and the goal here was right around 100,000 according to the stock to flow. So let's assume we don't hit that 70% again, and we only get maybe 50%. You're still talking $500,000 per Bitcoin. Okay, guys? So this is what you need to know, that you need to be prepared for this bull run. The next halving happens in April of 2024, and after that, the rocket ship is taking off. However, there is an opportunity that you may be able to buy back in a little bit cheaper. So if we look here, after almost every halving or right before the halving, we see there's a little dip, right? We have a little dip down in the market, a little correction here. So there still is an opportunity that when we hit that, we may have another little dip. I'm not saying it'll be below what the price is today. However, if you want to wait and keep some money on the sideline, there is possibility of another market correction, another little dip here as we get closer to the halving before the rocket ship takes off. However, after that, we look a couple months after the halving here, we start getting into these red dots. I would not want to be sitting without a bag. Obviously, that's not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, do your own research, and never invest more money than you can personally afford to lose. However, this is just the halving is all we're talking about here so far. Supply and demand, the amount of new Bitcoin being cut in half. We're going to see these gains just absolutely be massive, skyrocketing, melting faces. People are going to have absolutely life-changing gains if they are sitting pretty with a nice bag of Bitcoin. And this doesn't even take into account all the new investors that are going to come in. So right now we're seeing a lot of traditional investors. We're seeing institutional investors. We have BlackRock Capital, which is looking to probably put several billion, if not $trillion into an ETF. They're going to have to buy Bitcoin for that ETF if they don't already have it right now. And the more people that buy in, the more Bitcoin they're going to need to buy for that. So essentially, guys, this may like double, triple, quadruple what we already have here. I'm making a safe estimate and saying somewhere around like 300 to 500,000 is where I see us getting just based on the stock to flow. However, with that extra information, with the ETF, with all the institutional investors trying to get in and buy massive amounts of Bitcoin as the supply dwindles, as regular people like me and you continue to put more and more money into it, it's going to just be, like I said, almost a game of musical chairs. Who can get the Bitcoin before everyone else and who can hold on to it the longest? That's what the game is here. Obviously, when we cap out, you should probably be taking some profits here because we do see a correction every time when we peak out and then a correction, we peak out and then a correction, we peak out and then a correction. Right now we're coming back, so it's a good time, in my opinion, to be dollar cost averaging in, to be buying in right now and holding a nice size bag for this next bull run. Again, when we're going to see these prices pump, by my estimation, is the summer of 2024, probably June to July is when we'll really start to take off. And then we're going to have that bull run through the fall of 2025. Probably November 2025 is where we'll peak out again. And that will be the end of that bull run. However, I don't think we're going to see as big of a correction this time. If we do have some ETFs out there, it's going to be like gold and the price is just never going to come back down. There probably will be a correction again, but it's my prediction that it won't be as massive as we've seen in the past. We're going to have a big run up and a smaller dip back down. So that's just my guess, guys. That's my prediction here. Again, I'm predicting anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 per Bitcoin by the summer of 2025. I hope you guys are prepared. If not, start making a plan now. I'm going to be doing more and more videos talking about the price of Bitcoin, looking at some charts, talking about different strategies to not only buy in, but also to sell off in profits and make sure we're getting the most of our money. We also need to start looking at some altcoins as high tide rises all ships. When Bitcoin goes up, we're able to see massive pumps in the market and some other smaller cap coins. So we're also going to be taking a look at a bunch of different small cap altcoins that I think are going to explode here during this next bull run. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please tap the thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, bell on to be notified as I drop future videos. If you want to chat with me, we got a Discord chat that I recently created. Go ahead and find that linked in the description below. First 50 members are going to get lifetime VIP access for 100% free. We're going to be doing a lot of exclusive content during this next bull run from the summer of 2024 to 2025. So you won't want to miss out on that exclusive VIP access. If you guys don't want to jump in chat, leave me a comment below. I'll go ahead and answer all the questions I can. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and let's get that coin.